Hi everyone, so I've just prepared a few slides for your first continuous assessment to help explain the task. So for this assignment, you've been asked to prepare an MI evidence review for your workplace or for your area of work. And that might mean you focus on a particular problem or behaviour like gambling, violence or substance misuse, or indeed it might be a condition like anxiety or depression. So I've given you a little bit of context there. So the context is that hopefully once you finish this course that you'll want to integrate the skills and ethos of MI into your own practice, or you might want to go a step further and embed MI into your work systems and processes in a more systemic way. And to do this, it might be useful to have an evidence review. And what an evidence review does is it summarizes all the available evidence for the link between MI and your chosen area. It reveals what's known about the impacts and outcomes and the delivery of similar type projects. And it should also tell you what's still not known or what's been difficult to establish, the kind of grey area in the literature. And all of that information that you compile in an evidence review is critical information for decision makers to determine whether MI should be systematically integrated into your work practices or not. So what I want you to do is I want you to consider or imagine that you've finished this course and you've organised a meeting with some key decision makers across your sector of work or for your workplace. And during the meeting, you're hoping to convince them that they should embed MI in the work of the service, and your document should help you to do this. Your document should state whether MI works for this problem or for this work area, the strength of the evidence, and possibly what further evidence is needed. And I don't want to make a presumption that there is strong evidence for that area, so don't feel as if you need to actually conclude that MI works for your particular area. If it is a grey area and more research needs to be done, that might be the focus of your evidence review. So the weighting for the assignment is 50%. So this is the first of two assignments worth 50% each. The referencing style that we use here in the school is the American Psychological Association, so the APA style. And in using that, it's probably useful as a minimum to probably use the referencing tool in Microsoft Word. The advantage of using that is it's quite simple to use, but it requires you to input all the details of the reference into Microsoft Word. But then once you go to complete your reference list, then it'll populate the list in whatever style you want, and you're going to choose the APA style. Other more complex reference management software programs include EndNote and Mendeley. They require a bit more investment in time in terms of starting to get to know and use them, but they can be more efficient then once you get the hang of them. The major advantage they have is they'll in effect suck up all the information from the internet that you'll need to construct a reference once you import it into the program. So there's less work for you to do once you're familiar with the program itself. In terms of formatting, have a look at the student course handbook to give you some information on including a cover page, font style, font sizes, and so on. In terms of the structure, I suppose at level 9 level, in a module like that, I'm probably reluctant enough to prescribe a specific structure. But I suppose some things that you might want to do in the report would be maybe stating the extent of the problem, briefly explaining what MI is, explaining the broader evidence for MI across other settings and behaviours. But the major portion of your review should be focused on reviewing the evidence related to your target area. And if that's the major portion of your essay or your assignment, it might be worth considering how you might group the paragraphs or group the content into themes or paragraphs or subsections, and what would be the basis for grouping studies together. Will it be the type of study, like are they random control trials or cross-sectional studies? Maybe the length of the study or the intensiveness of the intervention. It could be maybe something about the population groups. It could be their age or sex of participants, for example. So it might be worth just giving some thought to that. And a good way to conclude a review like this would be to make suggestions or recommendations for further practice, right? What needs to change or what should change in your practice or in your work sector, and maybe recommendations for research. Is there more research that needs to be done? If you have any questions on the assignment, I've a forum there on the Moodle topic area that you might post your questions there on, and I can reply to everyone so everyone will get the same information. In terms of search strategies, a major part of this work is being able to, I suppose, search for content. So I might prepare a short video to talk you through searching for literature. So the word count is 2,000 words, and 10% over or under would be fine there. The word count doesn't include the cover page or the references. The submission date is Sunday, November 4th, 11:59 p.m. And the submission method is Turnitin only, so there's no hard copies needed.